Okay na. Okay, good afternoon everyone. Today is February 26, 2024. We'll be having the pre-bid conference for 6 projects included in our GAA, General Appropriations Act of 2024. Before we start, let's have first our attendance to check whether we have a quorum. Engineer Rob, please check.
The following are present this afternoon. We have our back chairman, Ma'am
Present.
Ma'am, our back vice chairman, Ma'am Maria Aram Pasalar.
Present.
Back members, Ma'am Marisa Delayinan. Sir Bonifacio Cavite. Sir Noel Sambangol. Our end users, Sir Rogelio. Okay, Chief Procurement Engineer and Head Customer Secretariat, Sir Ronald Arquines. DPWH Head, Sir Igang. DPWH members, Sir Joseph Joel Gonzalez. Sir Michael Jan Candela. Sir Soferino Alida Jr. Back Secretariat members, Sir Mark Andrew Calvolo. Sir Sully Roberto Anizal, and Sir Bernie Amo.
Thank you, Engineer Roberta Anisal. There being a forum, let's proceed with our pre-bid conference. Let's start with letters and notices were sent to the following observers. Mr. Jose Ranyola, naka-representative, Kabakman, Legazpi City. Ma'am Emma M. Del Prado, State Auditor 4, COA DPWH, Masbate 2nd DEO, Masbate City. Ma'am Ruby Sanchez Morano, President Rodeo Masbate New Incorporated, Masbate City, as well as Mr. Joshua Jan Igang, Comedia Vice President, Masbate 2nd DEO, Masbate City. Let's start with our first project to be pre-bid. We have contract ID 24FI0043, Convergence Special Support Program, access roads and or bridges from National Road leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road at Sitio Tubod to Sitio Tugbungan, Barangay, Jamorawon, Milagros, Masbate. Brief description of work is construction of concrete road. Output budget for the contract is 4,949,961 pesos and 8 centavos. Contract duration is 48 calendar days. Amount of bidding document is 5,000. License classification required for this contract is at least C and D for general engineering and small B for roads. Let's hear from Engineer Vitaliano Angeles. The major and similar category of work, manpower, and equipment requirement. Engineer Angeles.
For the major category of work, RCP, roads construction, PCP, then the similar category of work, RRP, roads rehabilitation, PCP. Number 2, RCPP, roads construction, and PCP. The key person must meet the requirement in years of experience. Project engineer, project manager, 5 years experience, relevant experience, 15 years. Project engineer, 5 years, relevant experience, 10 years. Mga materials engineer, materials engineer, 1 or 2. Foreman, 3 years, 5 years, relevant experience. For the equipment required, minimum major equipment, applicator machine, backhoe, bartender, barcater, barricade, flasher light, contract, bulldozer, cargo service truck, and equipment, chainsaw, concrete saw, concrete vibrator, dump truck, fuel sealing machine, steel machine, load grader, motorized load grader, Tornado mixer, payloader, playbook software, telescopic conduit, two-way radio, vibratory loader, water truck pump, minor tolls. Then after the level 6
Engineer, thank you, Engineer Batalyan Andales. Let's proceed with our second project. We have contract ID 24FI0050, Convergent Spatial Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Access Roads and or Bridges for National Road, leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road. Barangay Biyong, Masbate City. Brief, brief description of this contract, construction of concrete road. Approved budget for the contract is 4,949,987 pesos and 62 centavos. Contract duration is 48 calendar days. Amount of bidding document is 5,000. License classification required is at least C and D for general engineering and small B for roads. Again, Engineer Andales.
The major category 4 are CP roads construction receiving, then the similar category 4 are RP roads application receiving. Number 2 are CPP roads construction tunnel receiving. The key personnel the requirement years. Project manager 5 years. Relevant experience 15 years. Project engineer 5 years. Relevant experience 10 years. Materials engineer DPWH materials engineer 4 months, 3 years, 5 years technical experience. Then the minimum major equipment requirements, cable machine, backhoe, bar bender, bar cutter, barricade flasher light, boom truck, bulldozer, cargo service truck, cargo service at 9 to 10 metric ton, concrete soup, concrete vibrator, dump truck, sealing machine, digging machine, loading trailer, motorized wood grader, wood bagger mixer, payloader, plate compactor, telescopic lift, laboratory loader, water truck, pump, and minor tools.
Thank you again, Engineer Andales. Let's proceed with our third project. We have contract ID 24FI0051, Convergence Spatial Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Access Roads and or Bridges from National Road, leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road, Barangay Igang, Masbate City. Brief description of work, construction of concrete road. Approved budget for the contract is 4,949,893 pesos and 65 centavos. Contract duration is 48 calendar days. Amount of bidding document is 5,000. License classification required is at least C and D for general engineering and small B for roads. Again, Engineer Andales.
The major category 4 are CP roads construction with CP. Similar category 4 are RP roads rehabilitation with CP. Number 2 are CDP roads construction tunnel with CP. Then K personnel required, project manager, experience 5 years, relevant experience 15 years, project engineer 5 years, then the relevant experience 10 years. And materials engineer, DPWH materials engineer 1 or 2, 4 months, 3 years, then irrelevant experience 5 years. Then the minimum major equipment requirements, cable machine, backhoe, bar bender, bar cutter, barricade flasher light, on truck, bulldozer, cargo service truck, cargo service truck 9 to the ton, concrete soup, concrete vibrator, dump truck, sealing machine, heating machine, loading trailer, motorized wood trailer, one barrel mixer, payloader, plate compactor, telescopic lift, laboratory roller, water truck, pump, and minor tools.
Thank you, Engineer Andales. Let's proceed with our fourth project. We have contract ID 24FI0052, Convergence Spatial Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Access Roads and or Bridges from National Road, leading to major strategic public buildings, construction of road, Barangay Kinamaligan, Masbate City. Brief description of This project, construction of concrete road, approved budget for the contract is 4,949,917 pesos and 27 centavos. Contract duration is 48 calendar days. Amount of bidding document is 5,000. License classification required for this contract is at least C and D for general engineering and small B for roads. Again, engineer analyst.
The major category work, RCP, roads construction, PCP. Similar category works, RRP, roads rehabilitation, PCP. Number two, RCPP, roads construction of tunnel, PCP. The key personnel, project manager, 5 years experience, relevant experience, 15 years. Project engineer, 5 years, relevant experience, 10 years. Then one, materials engineering, then materials engineering number two, 4 months, 3 years, relevant experience, 5 years. Then the minimum major equipment requirements, backhoe, power diesel, other paragraph flasher light, truck, bulldozer, cargo service truck, cargo service truck, and then handling soup, corporate vibrator, dump truck, USL machine, low bed trailer, motorized load trailer, one barrel mixer, payloader, vacuum pumper, telescopic mandate, two-way radio, vibratory roller, water truck, home pump, and manifold.
Again, thank you. Let's continue with our fifth project. We have contract ID 24FI0053. Convergence Spatial Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Access Roads and or Bridges from National Road, leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road Barangay, Kawayan Interior, Masbate City. Brief description of work, construction of concrete road, approved budget for the contract is 4,949,820 pesos and 53 centavos. Contract duration is 48 calendar days and amount of bidding document is 5,000. License classification required is at least C and D for general engineering and small B for roads. Engineer Andres.
Major category work, RCP, roads construction, PCP. Similar category works, RRP, roads rehabilitation, PCP. Number two, RCP, roads construction, and PCP. Again, personal requirements, project manager, 5 years experience, relevant experience, 15 years. Project engineer, 5 years, 10 years, relevant experience. Materials engineer, DPWH Masbate, materials engineer, 1 or 2. 4 months, 3 years experience, 5 years relevant experience. And minimum major equipment requirements, data machine, backhoe, with breaker, bartender, contractor, parking flasher light, truck, bulldozer, cargo service truck, cargo service at night, electric plant, concrete soup, overhead vibrator, dump truck, UNC machine, milling machine, loaded trailer, motorized trailer, one barrel mixer, payloader, take compactor, telescopic mandate, regulatory roller, water truck, and manifold.
Okay, thank you again. Let's continue with our last project. For preview today, we have contract ID 24FI0054, Convergence Spatial Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Access Roads and Bridges from National Road, leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road. Junction National Road to Sitio, Licuson, Barangay, Biyong, Tugbungan, Masbate. Brief description of this project, construction of concrete road, approved budget for the contract is 4,949,926 pesos and 92 centavos. Contract duration is 48 calendar days and amount of bidding document is 5,000. License classification for this contract is at least C and D for general engineering and small B for roads.
Major category work, RCP, roads construction, PCP. Similar category works, RRP, roads rehabilitation, PCP, RCPP, roads construction, tunnel. Key personnel, project manager, 5 years experience, relevant experience, 15 years. Project engineer, 5 years experience, 10 years relevant experience. Materials in the DPWH materials included one of 4 months, 3 years experience, 5 years lifetime experience. Then the minimum legal equipment requirements, data machine, backhoe with breaker, power printer, power cutter, power slasher light, moon truck, bulldozer, cargo service truck, cargo service truck, chainsaw, pocket vibrator, dump truck, concealer machine, knitting machine, loading trailer, motorized trailer, mechanical mixer, payloader, payload background excavation, electric radio, vibratory roller, water pump, for pump, and vibrator.
Thank you, Engineer Angeles. Okay. Now, DPWH Masbate second DEO now invites bids for the procurement of the 6 projects. Completion of works is required as stated above. Bidders should have completed a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding document, particularly in section 2. Prospective bidders should be registered with the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board. Contractors applicants who wish to participate in this bidding are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works application CWA at the DPWH Procurement Service, DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Work Area, Manila. While those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. The contractor's eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH contractor profile eligibility process or the CPEC and subject to further post-qualification. Information and registration can be obtained from the procurement service during the working days from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the DPWH website www.dpwh.gov.ph. Prospective bidders should present the original official receipt of payment for bid document to the back secretariat of this office before the deadline stated above for inclusion in the list of contractors for eligibility process. The owner or authorized representatives included in the CRC will be allowed to transact business relative to bidding matters as per DO 197 series of 2001. Those representatives not included in the CRC are required to submit special power of attorney or secretary certificate, whichever is applicable, and 2 valid government issued IDs to be allowed to transact the business. All participating bidders must be in the document request list, DRL, of the PGIP's website and secure a print-out copy showing that they are included in the list. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation of the Public Act number 9184. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at the bid opening. Interested bidders may obtain further information from DPWH Masbate second DEO and inspect the bidding documents at the procurement unit, back secretariat office from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of bidding documents will be acquired by interested bidders starting on February 19, 2024 from given address and website below and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding document pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB and the amounts stated above. The procuring entity shall allow the bidder to present its proof of payment for the fees. It can be presented in person or by electronic means. The DPWH Masbate second DEO is holding now a pre-bid conference February 26, 2024, 2 p.m. at Procurement Back Secretariat and through video conferencing webcasting via YouTube. It will be open to prospective bidders. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Similar to manual submission, the guidelines for the preparation and submission of an electronic bid are contained in BDS ITB Clause 17. Bids must be duly received by the Bank Secretariat at the address below for manual submission or at electronic bids. Underscore Masbate 2 at dpwh.gov.ph or electronic submission on or before March 11, 2024, 11 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any acceptable forms to the following schedule: cash or cashier's manager's check issued by a universal or commercial bank, bank draft guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank, and surety bond collaborakan demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. Bid securing declaration is undertaken which states among others that the bidder shall enter into a contract with the procuring entity and furnish the required performance security within 10 calendar days or less, as indicated in the bidding document, from receipt of the notice of award and committing to pay the corresponding fine and is suspended for a period of time from being qualified to participate in any government activity in the event it violates any of the conditions stated as required in the guidelines issued by the GPP. Our bid opening will be on March 11, 2024 at 2 p.m. at the Procurement Unit, Bank Secretariat, and or through YouTube. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidder's representative who choose to attend the activity. Equipment capacity as specified in the bid data sheet shall be mandatory and absence of the same shall disqualify the contractor. And lastly, the Masbate second DEO reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not to award a contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Sections 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation of RA 9184 thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidders or bidder. For further information, please refer to Engineer Joseph Bentini, yours truly, Masbate second DEO, at telephone number 056-333-0566 or at email at himi@dpwh.gov.ph or our Bank Secretariat, Engineer Donald L. Argelias, Masbate second DEO, Masbate City, with email address argelias.donald@dpwh.gov.ph. Okay, let's hear from Engineer Solterino Aligato, some pointers to avoid disqualification.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to read Section 23 and 24 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation. First, under Section 23, or known as the eligibility requirements for the procurement of infrastructure projects. For purposes of determining the eligibility of bidders using the criteria stated in Section 23.4 of this IRR, only the following documents shall be required by the bank using the forms prescribed in the bidding documents. First, Class A documents and Class B documents. Under Class A documents, we have legal documents, technical documents, and financial documents. Under legal documents, first document is the registration certificate from SEC Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship or CDA for cooperatives. Second is the mayor's business permit issued by the city or the municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, for the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And third, tax clearance for Executive Order 398 series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Under technical documents, we have statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Second, statement of the bidder's SLCC. Third, in the case of procurement of infrastructure projects, a valid Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board of a pickup license or special pickup license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And under financial documents, first, the bidder's audited financial statements showing, among others, the bidder's total and current assets and liabilities stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. And the second document is the bidder's computation of NFCC. Under CASB document, for infrastructure projects, JV bidders shall submit a JVA in accordance with Republic Act 4566 and its IRR. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit their respective PhilJet certificates of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of this IRR. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitutes compliance, provided that the partner responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of all of its ongoing contracts and audited financial statements. Under Section 23.4.2 or the eligibility criteria for the procurement of infrastructure projects, the following persons or entities shall be allowed to participate in the bidding for infrastructure projects. First is the duly licensed Filipino citizens or sole proprietorship. Second, partnership duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. And third, corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. And fourth, cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines. And lastly, persons or entities forming themselves into a joint venture or a group of 2 or more persons or entities that intend to be jointly and severally responsible or liable for a particular contract, provided, however, that in accordance with Executive Order 65, Series of 2018, Filipino ownership or interest of the joint venture concerned shall be at least 60%, provided further that joint ventures in which Filipino ownership or interest is less than 60% may be eligible where the structures to be built require the application of techniques and or technologies which are not adequately possessed by a person or entity meeting the 60% Filipino ownership requirement. And provided finally that in the latter case, Filipino ownership or interest shall not be less than 25%. For this purpose, Filipino ownership or interest shall be based on the contributions of each of the members of the joint venture as specified in their JPA. Under Section 23.4.2.3, in accordance with Republic Act 4566 entitled An Act Creating the Philippine Licensing Board for Contractors, prescribing its powers, duties, and functions, providing funds therefore and for other purposes. The persons or entities enumerated in Section 23.4.2.1 of this IRR may participate in competitive bidding if he has been issued a license by the PICA to engage or act as a contractor. Under Section 23.4.2.4, the bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the contract to be bid and whose value adjusted to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid. provided, however, that contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the contract to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract cost or their ARCC of their registrations based on the guidelines as prescribed by the FICA. And under section 23.4.2.5, the SLCC shall be supported by an owner certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the constructor's performance evaluation system, or the CPES. In the case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. And under section 23.4.2.6, the computation of the bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid, calculated as follows. NFCC is equals to the current assets minus current liabilities times 15 minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. Under section 23.5, GOCCs may be eligible to participate in competitive bidding only if they can establish that they are, first, legally and financially autonomous, b, operate under commercial law, and c, are not attached agencies of the procuring entity. The GPPB shall promulgate the necessary guidelines for this provision. Under section 25, or the submission and receipt of bids, bidders shall submit their bids through their duly authorized representative using the forms specified in the bidding docs in two separate sealed bid envelopes or two password-protected bidding documents in compressed archive folders in case of electronic bid submission, and which shall be submitted simultaneously. The first shall contain the technical component of the bid, including the eligibility requirements under section 23.1 of this IRR for the procurement of infrastructure projects, and the second shall contain the financial component of the bid. The first envelope shall contain the following technical information and documents at the least. For the procurement of infrastructure projects, first, Belgium certificate of registration and membership in accordance with section 8.5.2 of this IRR. Second, pickup license and registration in case of JV. Third, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Fourth, statement of SLCC. Fifth, NFCC computation. Sixth, JPA if applicable. Seventh, bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. Eighth, project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' personnel, and third, list of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, or as the case may be. And ninth is the omnibus sworn statement in accordance with section 25.3 of this IRR. The second envelope shall contain the financial information documents as specified in PBDs.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Salfirina Milagros. Is there any additional information among back members and TWG? Okay, there being none, a private conference this afternoon is adjourned at 3 p.m. Thank you, guys.
DEO